All right. Very nice. Oh, hello. Walla. Oh. A little bang, skeet, like this.
Okay, there we go. All right. We're good to go whenever you want to.
I think that was our first, what do you call it? Our first guest speaker would be Borat.
Borat,
However
very
you say
nice.
his last name. How do you say his last name?
I don't know. You showed me.
I can't pronounce it.
Me neither.
Borat, how do you pronounce your last name? Well, the first F's are silent. This is what you pronounce the last Z's like plain as day, clear as a bell. You know, I'm from the country of Kazakhstan, the finest village in the whole Cossack. Very nice. All right, well, we appreciate you helping us set up with the microphones, and you're good to go. Okay, I go
Very
now.
nice.
Back to my weather show.
Back to the. Thank you, Borat.
Thank you for that. So it's good to be back. Much like the Shamrock Shake, I am back.
It's good to be back.
Sorry I missed the last episode with you, but Buddy Adam's about to go away to the military, so thought we'd have him on the show. Figured you guys get a kick out of it.
Have a couple episodes to get in.
But like a fart in church, I'm coming at you loud and smooth, clear as a bell. And yeah, it's definitely good to be back.
Is it wrong that I just see maybe it's from that Key and Peele skit? I see the old black grandmas in church.
Oh yeah,
and they're like,
"Happy Sunday,
with
Esther.
my prayers,
Happy
with
Sunday,
my
Georgina. With my prayers,
with my prayers, of course, Georgina."
Yeah. All right, so what are we going to talk about today, Chase?
Our good friend has a company, and we have our first sponsorship. Ironically,
we do.
Not ironically, we're good, so we deserve a sponsorship.
Well, if you think we're good, Canada, I think you're cool too.
That's right. I see the statistics. Canadians, you love us. They do. That's not a lie. I looked it up and I go, where the hell is that? Oh, it's Canada.
And if any one of you Canadians decide to find anything interesting and you want to show with us, we'll definitely talk about it if we think it's worthy.
Send us an email, message, like, comment, do whatever. Get our attention. We'll definitely pay attention to you.
So show your ice fishing, pancake eating friends.
But back to it. So our first sponsorship comes from Lit State. It's a local company to us. It's a skateboard clothing company with its customer base in mind. They have everything from hats to T-shirts, hoodies to custom boards. They've got it all. So check them out on Instagram at LitStateCo. That's LitStateCo. And mention that Chase and Wayne sent you. Maybe you'll get a code at checkout. And we'd love to hear from you guys with the feedback. We love the brand. This dude, Tanner's awesome. I grew up with him in like the third grade. We used to run hustles in the third grade.
Well,
so
all of us went to school together, yeah.
Right, we all went to school together. I was telling Wayne today about me and him used to get into hustles with like doing tech decks, and we'd sell them and we'd sell them for profit amongst other kids. And we were like, this is pretty fulfilling for us. So it doesn't surprise me that, he's working his butt off, and Lit State's an awesome company. So.
And there's a lot of skateboarding apparel out there. You can buy Element, you can buy, anything Vans or whatever. But what you're doing there is you're throwing money at a faceless kind of corporation, right?
Yeah.
They do a lot of good stuff. They have crazy concerts and whatnot, cool shoes. But Tanner Loveland, you can actually put a face on. You know him, all right. So instead of giving money to the faceless corporation, give it to Lit State.
Well, it's like this is gonna be a horrible reference in comparison, but it's like The Office. And they're like, why would we go with you?
And there you go again with The Office. The last person who watches The Office is right here on the show.
Well, that's exactly what they say. They go like, why would we choose you over the big guys? And he's like, because we have good customer service. We care about you, and we care about our products. Yeah. We don't care. We don't need a number to match. We don't have a quota to sell shoes to. It's us.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that part. I like that feel. It also puts in a lot of hard work, effort, and I respect that. And that's why I love Lit State. So they're awesome.
It's Christmas, I tell you. He's got some cool stuff out there.
We're going to put that on a shirt or a hat.
You think so?
Or a sock or whatever.
Let us know if you guys want Tits Christmas hats up there in Canada or wherever.
I swear to goodness, if they had actual boobs on the hat.
Oh, George. That would not be all right, okay? We got to keep this child friendly just in case somebody's kids are listening to the show.
Is that? Oh, yeah. I'll put a little check mark by this because we're talking about,
I apologize for this.
Well, actually, this is actually a hot topic because our next topic is about...
It's about homosexuality. So
Kind of.
if you're a homer or a lesbidite, you might want to listen up because this one goes out to you. All right.
You're okay. Yeah. Go ahead. No, I was going to say.
Side note. Delete this. Are we not talking about the bonobo monkeys?
No, we are. I was just saying, I'm like.
Where were you going with this? Should we redo that?
No. We keep going. This is fine. I don't know. I'll listen to where to cut, I guess. But yeah.
What were you going to open up with?
Well, you said what?
Lesbidites.
Lesbidites and
homosexuals.
Are those like bad?
I made them up. They can't be bad yet.
Okay. Well then,
some get mad.
Those are very good compliments. There you go.
Yeah. So.
All right.
End of side note. Now, I know I said lesbidites and homosexuals, but I honestly don't know what else to call them. You know, it seems like any kind of term out there they could get offended by, you know, like I'm not this, I'm that, I'm not this. So what I did is I made up my own 2 terms, lesbidites and
not
homosexuals.
Negative, just...
And they are not negative. They are completely 100% fictional. You will never hear it derogatory because I just invented them. So there is no way that those 2 words should offend anybody, but still, you know who you are.
Okay. Back onto the subject. So what is it?
All right. So bonobo chimps actually share 98% of DNA with humans.
Oh, wow.
They are actually more closely related to us, blargy, than other chimpanzees. Other chimpanzees don't share as much DNA as they do with us.
They share more DNA with us than with actual other monkeys.
Yeah, even other forms of chimpanzee, which they are, which is nuts.
All right.
So they're quite literally our sibling from another dribbling.
You got me.
On the evolutionary table there. All right, so what's nuts is they are also capable of showing empathy, kindness, patience, compassion, and weirdly enough, altruism, which for those of you who don't have your pocket dictionary right there next to you, altruism is
I didn't know about it either until you mentioned it.
It's kind of a moral code.
So they have... But is this different from other chimpanzees?
Yeah, other chimpanzee societies are more aggressive by nature. They solve everything more with violence. They have a weird but functioning social life.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah.
So how does this have to do with the gay community, the LGBT community?
Well, what's funny is that they're always having sex. That is how they solve their fights.
That's true. You can just Google it and it says the monkeys that have sex.
You can, yeah.
But it just says
monkeys
sex and fruit.
are sex addicts. They have sex to say hello, they have sex to say goodbye. If you put a box in front of them, in front of bonobo monkeys, they've never seen a box before a day in their life, they will have sex with it.
That's how they test it.
That's
I also read it's for
yeah.
conflict resolution.
Yeah, they do not make good house pets, but they are interesting to watch. In a anthropological speaking, I guess, you know.
Right.
So, yeah, what's crazy about that is roughly 60% of all bonobo sex occurs with at least 2 females. Hey yo!
Oh,
all right,
boy, howdy. These little sex addicts, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and they are fully bisexual. So
really?
They are, yeah. So not only are they our closest ancestor, genetically speaking, of course.
Yeah.
You know, but they also are fully bisexual.
Wow.
Which is, to me, you know, I wouldn't want to watch that, but, you know, that's kind of interesting.
To his or her own.
Yeah.
But I like what you said, which is, so if they're as closely related to us, 98%,
mm-hmm.
What does that mean? That means that
only 2% of us ain't monkey, bonobo monkey. I don't know.
No. Does that mean that, like you mentioned earlier, you were sitting around the hallway? Does that mean that science proves that bisexuality and homosexuality is a thing? Like it's.
I think it does, and they're not the only animals that are. They're not even the only mammals that are bisexual and homosexual.
Really?
Yeah. So if they share the most DNA with us than any other creature out there, and they can be bisexual, maybe, just maybe, science proved in about 2013, you could be born gay.
Wow.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm not gay. Chase isn't gay, but if you are, that's okay. Yeah. And if you happen to be against gay marriages, you know, just don't get one. It's that easy, you know?
You don't like gay marriages? Okay, don't get one.
Yeah. Don't marry a homosexual
don't get one.
If you don't want one, you know? Don't hurt nobody.
But that actually puts how do I put it? I'm not saying that, because a lot of people, that's a touchy subject. I don't mean to dance around it, say that I'm an expert or that I know anything about it, but just based on that little fact alone that I didn't even know about, that you mentioned to me,
yeah,
definitely shifts me in a category where I go, okay, maybe we need to wow, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
And even that alone would shift the tides for other people as well.
Yep.
But like Wayne said, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, that's what we were trying to get at. We were just saying that and we're not trying to say this as a way to validate how you feel or how you are. It was just an interesting fact that we were like, whoa. Yeah. Okay, now it kind of shifts the lens a little bit.
Yeah.
But
it's perfectly natural for them. I mean, I could see people being born gay. I could see it.
Yeah. And from what I read as well, it's mostly a peaceful society.
They are. They're less aggressive than other chimpanzees.
Right.
But weirdly enough, they solve their conflicts with sex. So maybe that's the key we're missing. So
maybe that's the
moral of the story: go out there and have more sex, be less angry.
Well, isn't that amongst humans too? Like, I remember when you're young and say you like my parents and grandparents didn't tell me this, but they were like, this is the phrase that I got all the time. It was like, we had nothing, but damn, we had love, right?
Yeah.
Which really like the kind of the same similarity between that. I mean, obviously you can translate that into adults, sexual relations, and having each other. And so I guess with them, kind of similar, which is why I said, okay, peaceful. That's why it's so peaceful. That phrase makes total sense now.
It does.
But
yeah, you could be born gay. I could see it now, especially now that we have this kind of evidence out there.
Yeah,
I could see it happening.
But and then another thing. So the funny thing is, bonobo monkeys are, how do I put it? So they're 98% similar to us, but they live way differently.
They do.
And they're more peaceful. No violence.
No violence at all.
I mean, other than the having sex all the time, it seems like we're the destructive monkeys, and they kind of have their shit together. But
ignorance is bliss.
Well, it's all flipped as well. So like in society, I mean, for the most part, like most of the time when you talk about homosexuality, anything related to the LGBT community, it's like a no-go until recently, obviously, but it was usually a no-go. But now the bonobo monkeys, it's flipped the whole script. It shifted my lens, it shifted your lens, just with that simple fact, scientific fact. And then I also looked it up. So other than being short sex addicts, they're females have the highest social status, not males. Just like in society, more than likely people believe that males, it's, are the tougher, more intimidating race of this. I'm not, and I mean, and that's not just saying that, and I'm not trying to say that because I am a man. I'm just saying that that's usually how that stigma goes. But in this society, the women are the higher status. So, and how do you, where does
in
your...
the 50s, that's not how it would have went, but this isn't the 50s anymore. Women can do everything a man can do.
Right, yes. I'm just saying, but that stigma...
I don't think that stigma has been around since the 50s.
Well, no, like...
Glass ceiling's been broke. You're fighting for rights you already had women's lib. You are.
So, but like, how do you get your...
Cut that out, I'm going to offend people.
Yeah, we'll go by and clip it. But I was going to say that, so not only do they have a higher social status than the males do not get their status from the male. So like their father. So like
it's who you're born from.
Right.
Your
So
mom,
like, yeah. So like I get my last name from my father and then his father before him. And that's how the name goes down from the male. Not like that. Not even close. So depending on the mom that you're with, there is a socio, what do you call it? Like a hierarchy. So they do know that if you're born from a higher mother in their hierarchy, then you are more important, right?
So what, like if their society is more sex-based, what will make you higher as a mother?
I didn't...
Having more sex or something?
No, it just says that...
if your mom has the most sex and you're born, then you're...
Well, they don't know how that's determined specifically, but they think it has to do with... pardon my French, but how well you pleasure the female monkey. And then, so based on that relationship, boost yourself in their society. So the better at sexual relations, which means you're better at conflict resolution, you're better at all-around general relationship, which determines you as a better example for the rest of them. Which I thought was very, very interesting.
Boy, howdy.
And then the thing is, too... guess what? We found a button for this. Mom.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You can add that in?
Mom. Yep. because the mother-son bond often stays strong and continues throughout their whole life.
You really made a button for that. Mom.
Yeah, that's the button. You say it until I can make one of it.
I thought that was going to be a sample of Adam. Adam does it the best.
But so females are higher. Males get their identity from their mom. But it says, due to the promiscuous mating of the female bonobos, a male cannot be sure which offspring is his. As a result, the entirety of parental care is dealt by the moms. So the females do everything in the society, basically. They kind of run the show.
That's pretty dope.
So everything that you would have thought was flipped, and they're closest to us, right? This whole subject, I'm like, monkeys, really? But the more you dive into it, and the closer you get to the scientific fact, the closer you get to the truth of what we're talking about.
So if you're a bonobo monkey, and the women do everything in their society, your only job as a guy is literally just to have crazy sex with the women.
Yep. Or the men.
Or yeah.
Just have sex all the time, I guess. And eat fruit, because their main diet consists of fruit.
Okay, fruit and sex. That I can get behind.
There we go. That's the title of that documentary. It was the society based on sex and fruit. That was like 2005.
That is nuts. So thank you, France DeWall, primatologist, for finding that out for us.
Yeah, France DeWall, you're a genius, and way to endure that without. I don't know. Would they look at a human being and go, "Ooh," like? Would they try and figure you out, and that's how they would do it sexually? I'm
not really wondering about that. What I'm wondering is how many times he threw up watching monkeys fuck all day for years.
You're like, my
they're two monkeys punching all dirty. I wouldn't even. No, that'll make me throw up.
It probably.
You just get immune to it after a while. Or you just
probably, or you'd be like, this is kind of because they do it face to face, like the humans do it. You know, it's focused on stimulation. It's focused on intimate relationship. It's eye-to-eye contact. So he's probably like, this is so weird, but oddly, I get it. Or she, I don't know. What was the name?
Is Franz a woman name or a guy name?
It was the chick from that one show. Mr. Sheffield.
That's Franny.
Yeah. Fran.
Oh, Mr. Sheffield.
Mr. Sheffield.
She had the most annoying voice out there.
But anyway, so that was the subject right there.
Well,
it just proves that maybe we don't know everything, and maybe we'll never know everything because I don't know. I feel like that's part of the human condition as well. Just searching for answers we'll never ever find because we can't deal with the fact that we don't know.
Yeah,
but
there is a cure for that.
What?
If you're a kind of a shallow, empty-headed kind of a fella, and you're trying to impress that smart, cute girl in the cubicle next door, then have I got something for you that works way better than pickup lines, all right?
All right, hit him.
Way better. You can talk about Puma Punku in Bolivia. That's Puma Punku.
Not the brand, not Puma. Do not buy
her
shoes now. Don't buy her Puma.
Okay? Do not do that. Don't buy her shoes.
Don't buy her that.
She don't want your damn shoes. She wants intelligent conversation. And here's how you're going to get it. You're going to get it from listening to our show here.
That's right.
So, what's so great about Puma Punku? Why do I care about a temple named after shoes in Bolivia? Well, it means cougar door in their language. The door of the cougar.
Oh.
And at youngest, it is 536 AD. But recently, science has discovered that it is at least 13,000 or 1,300?
13,000.
13,000 BC. Is the oldest it can be.
Before Christ, ladies and gentlemen.
That was before. 13,000 years before Christ. 1,000.
It means it's like 15,000, 16,000 years old.
How they determine that is by lining up the stars with what they call the sun gate.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun gate right there, the planet rotates every so often. So if you can position the stars with the correct alignment of the Puma Punku temple, then you can get an estimation of what rotation the Earth was at then.
Right. And which is great because most people go, well, what's the carbon dating?
Yeah, I don't care about your carbon dating.
Yeah, that can be definitely manipulated and thrown off.
Can be.
But this one, it takes more time. It's more reliable, and a lot of things can be dated properly that way, aligning it with the sun.
Thank God that they built the whole temple around around the sun, the moon, and all the constellations like that.
But I was going to say that also led into, because we talked about other previous types of, whether it was the Egyptian society, a bunch of these are all based around the stars.
But I got one on Puma Punku.
No, you're good. We're not transitioning.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to, no, we're not transitioning.
All right.
I was just saying that, like, other civilizations also use the stars. What was different in this time? Like, I'm just trying to piece it together because I have no idea. Welcome to the human condition. You never know. But it just makes me wonder because a lot of this BC scenarios is all star-oriented. Kind of like
exactly.
So people can go, you can go one way, you can go, okay, aliens. Or you can go the other way, ancient civilizations, which is where we prefer to go.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see aliens coming down here and building temples for us.
What would be the point of it?
Now, how could you think that an ancient civilization would be more advanced than us? Well, if you look at Puma Punku, yes, that's Puma Punku in Bolivia. If you look at that, you will see that they have perfectly bored drill holes in there.
Oh, yeah. Not even just drill holes, the blocks have been cut.
Jesus. The blocks have been cut so level and square. To this day, you can take a framing square, hold it up to it, and it'll be perfectly flush. Level Knievel style. It is badass.
Well, and the funny part is you can't even, it's for us now, so believe it or not, the sharpest object we have is a diamond. So you can take a diamond, turn it into a blade, and you can cut things with it, right?
Yeah.
So they can barely replicate the perfection in these rocks with a diamond blade.
With the technology we have now, they can barely.
Now. So how the hell did they do it over 13,000 years ago? And that alone stumped the out of me. Plus, most of the blocks can weigh upwards of 800 tons.
13,000
BC?
No, 20 years ago, whatever that number would be.
13?
Would it be? Or would it be?
What are you talking about?
I'm not good at math. You probably want to cut this out.
20. You're making up a number.
13,000 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Add that to 2020 AD, where we're at now.
How
many years ago would that be?
Like 15,020. Because you take 2,000.
Yeah.
Plus 13.
So
15.
15,020 years ago.
Yeah.
They were doing this stuff with better technology.
Better.
And like I said, everything on it is flush. It is square. The closest thing we have to building monuments like that now is if you look at a home, the way it's constructed.
Yep.
You can tell east and west by your windows and doors.
Mm-hmm.
They will rarely face east and west because that is where the sun rises and sets, and people don't want that glare.
Yep.
So the windows and doors preferably face north and south. That's the closest thing we have, but we're not building temples like they did back then. So maybe
like you said, it was built around the sun. It was built around I read it was around the solstice. What is that, the solstice? Is that like a day of worship? Do you know what the solstice is?
Yeah, but I don't know enough about their culture to say what they worshipped. I really don't.
Oh, I got
So far, it appears to be cougars and the sun. They did offer sacrifices there, though. They found a lot of like cougar skulls in there,
Wow.
They would sacrifice in the temple.
That's also specific.
So if they're super advanced, why did they do that? Or did somebody find it years later and do that? I don't know. But one thing's for sure, they definitely had drills.
But it's just...
that are bored perfectly in diameter.
So, and like I said, I like to go, both of us, we like to go more towards something, not necessarily, I don't know. I like the idea of the ancient civilizations. I like, what's the theory we call it? The Great Restart?
Yeah.
We like to think of something called the Great Restart theory.
Which there's probably a more technical term out there for it, but...
So what was that?
There's probably got to be a more technical term for it out there.
Yeah, we just made it up just now talking about it. But like so the idea that we came up with was that even though in time it's behind us, that they could be more advanced. And then every religion
out there revolves around a story of the Great Flood.
Yeah, some kind of great disaster that would wipe something clean.
A flood, specifically.
Is it a flood?
Yeah. Even if you are an atheist, don't believe in nothing, you can study the rocks and examine how high the water levels were at one point.
So you can actually prove this flood that everyone documents.
And it's in every religion.
Christianity has the Great Flood, Noah's Ark.
Odinists have a great flood.
No.
Greeks have a great flood, like every religion. Even Muslims have a great flood. Judaism has a great flood. Christianity has a great flood. They all have a great flood.
Which could also describe why the temple had been kind of wiped away, a big flood. They also determined that sometimes it said there was some looting. I don't know how they would determine that there was looting in a time period of 13,000 years ago with no writing. But either way, people are people. Even though you're super advanced and smarty smart, you probably still want to steal the shiny shit.
Well, if I was one of the 5 people left on Earth, and I walked across a messed up, I don't know, let's say Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
All right. Then you better believe I'm gonna spray paint my name on there. Wayne.
I thought you were going a different direction. I thought you were going like National Geographic with a National Treasure, where there's a secret room in Mount Rushmore. I thought you were going to be like...
No.
Oh.
But if there were, I'd claim it was mine first, and I found it.
I found it. Did you make it?
He who wins history.
No one can prove that I didn't make it. I'm the last person.
The winners and survivors, they're the ones who history is written about.
That's right.
So that's what I would do. I'd say, well, I made this. How can you prove otherwise? It's mine now. I did this myself. I'm the greatest that ever lived. And there's only 5 other people left on Earth, as I said previously, so who's going to question it?
That's right.
So what happened to all this technology? Why don't we have it now? Why are we not more advanced than we are now as they were back then?
Well, because like I said, that's the funny thing. In the previous episode, we talked about the pyramids being the power plant generators. Even though it was very minute, to them, they could have done a whole lot with it. Who knows? Maybe it was wireless.
And if you look at the glyphs, the hieroglyphs on the sides of the tunnels and stuff,
don't they have Tesla towers?
You do, yeah. You can actually see a filament and light bulbs being held by the god Anubis. The filament is represented by a snake, but it's clearly what looks like an Edison light bulb in there, which is nuts.
That is insane.
They had battery packs using, I believe, salt and water.
Well, maybe,
jars.
Boom, just by us talking, I think you made me think of something. Because we were talking about, so you have Tesla and you have Edison, right? One made a light bulb. One allowed you to put a meter on electricity. One wanted to send it wirelessly. And I was watching a podcast earlier where if there was wireless electricity, if it was in the air, free access to everybody, we wouldn't be able to have computers, microphones. We wouldn't have anything that could hold a charge like that because it would have too much interference from all. You wouldn't be able to control unless you're able to control some kind of frequency in your house. But for the most part, if you just sent electricity at a high voltage everywhere and everything was high voltage, you would more than likely not have small circuit-based components that need small voltage, like a computer or, things like that, a camera, because they wouldn't be able to do it. They would fry or they wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So maybe because like I said, with a CNC machine and a diamond cut saw, you can cut stone, right? You can cut them as close as you can to Puma, right?
Right.
But the computer part, there's no computers there. Right? So it could be a whole different... That's why the Great Restart is so crazy, because it means that they could have a whole different lifestyle, even just by the simplest thing of how they use electricity.
Yeah. And what happened to all the other technology then? Well, I think I might have an explanation for that as well.
Okay.
All right, let's say, I don't know, me right now, right? Let's say that I'm one of the last few people on Earth in this whole damn world, and there is nothing. There's like a couple of random buildings and whatnot, and that's like it.
Okay.
Right? So people are going to look at me and say, all right, well, we had plumbing. Do you know everything about plumbing? Can you completely recreate how plumbing works? Can you completely recreate a computer?
Right.
Off of these natural resources that you have right here at your hands? No, I cannot.
I don't know how to do code. I don't know how to do plumbing.
Adam can. I can do a little plumbing, but that's not the point. The point is that, if average people were left behind by the Great Restart, then they'd be the ones that they couldn't duplicate the technology, and eventually it'd get destroyed.
Right. It would just continually shift based on the different intelligence that was left.
So if Egyptians had light bulbs and Edison and Tesla found light bulbs later, then what if somebody found them before that?
Dang, it could have just been a copy.
How many times have we discovered light bulbs? How many times, bro? Yeah,
how many times have we restarted over? Which is also good because, say back maybe 13,000 years ago, it was straightforward. This is how you cut things. We have this type of material, it's a different technology. But then it gets dumber and dumber and dumber, and then it gets to us, where we care about our stupid cell phones, Instagram, social media. We're distracted. Everything's different.
Then a flood happens, and next thing you know, bam, child support.
That's right. And they say, Great Restart.
Boy, howdy.
Now that's a theory. Ooh, mamacita. Was that a knee?
That was my knee. I've got horrible knees, bro. Horrible.
I guarantee you that got picked up on the microphone.
They can hear my knees going bad in Canada. It was for a great cause, though. It's for a great cause.
But, you were saying something about that as well, hijacking technology, and we were talking about the Egyptians earlier.
Yeah,
what was that?
Colin Reeder. All right, he's not just some anthropologist. He's not just some scientist out there. He works for Smithsonian. Oh. I don't think you can find a more reputable name in museums or science than the Smithsonian.
Greatest museum on earth.
Yeah, it is. They had him going out and studying the sphinxes, right? No big deal. Just studying the sphinxes. He's going to try to find the riddle. And then he stumbles upon something. Now, every other sphinx that they have found was buried in sand. That way the wind, the sun, and other elements cannot get to it because, as you know, the desert is pretty dry.
Yep.
It can cause a lot of erosion by wind, sand, storms, things like that.
Yep.
Sandblasting is how they get the finish off of metals and stuff like that.
So sandblast it can definitely ruin some stuff.
Yeah. What he discovered is that the body of it, underneath, was completely covered in sand at one point in order to preserve it. He also discovered that the head of the Sphinx wasn't covered. It was uncovered.
What do you mean, like someone cut it off?
Like somebody had taken the old, because you can tell by the back of it, and he does a much better job explaining this. That's Colin Reeder. He does a much better job explaining this. But
is that on YouTube or?
No, it's on the Smithsonian channel. They have
their channel. Yeah. So not
legit.
only are they from the Smithsonian, they have their own channel.
Mm-hmm. He goes out there and he says, if you look at the back of it and the head of it, the dates don't add up. That's one of the mysteries of the Sphinx. Because the head was the same age as the body. But what if it was modified? What if originally it was a lion statue? And what got him thinking about this is that before that Sphinx was built, the big one missing the nose. Everyone knows that one.
Yep,
Before that one was built, there were no legends of Sphinxes. That was like the first one. Before that, they just had, they'd worship lions and stuff like that and cats.
But no one actually built a Sphinx.
No one talked about a Sphinx. Nobody ever thought to. Nobody said shit about it.
Okay.
Yeah. So one guy sees a statue of a lion, finds it more or less under the sand, buried. Says, "You know what? Dibs." And he's like, "Well, I'm the pharaoh. I want to be the greatest thing that ever lived." And I'm paraphrasing, of course. But he says, "I want to be the greatest thing that ever lived. I want to live on." So he cuts off the face of the lion, cuts off the ears, and you can actually go back and see where the ears once were. And then he takes the mane, turns it into his headdress.
Holy cow.
Chips it away, piece at a time. Cuts the beard into the long goatee thing Pharaohs had at one point, which eventually got broke off, but he did that. Molded the face into his image. And you can see the dye on the statue from makeup only around the face area. Which is what Pharaohs had.
It's the exact same thing. Who would know the difference if I did this?
Who would know?
Who would know the difference if I modified this?
If I spray painted my name on Mount Rushmore.
Who would know?
And I was one of like 5 people left. Years from now, who would know?
Right.
If I put a mustache on the Mona Lisa, generations from now, nobody would know. I could just say it was mine. If the world was wiped out.
Right.
And then what happened after that is they started making more and more sphinxes. But that one was modified. It was the first, and there are no legends, no tales, no stories, no nothing about the Sphinx before that. Made it up. So that is what I think the mystery of the Sphinx is. Not only is it way older than the pyramids, but I'm stating that he could have found it.
So he could have found it uncovered, or he could have found it in the sand because it's always shifting.
Exactly.
Uncovered it, said, "I'm Pharaoh, I'm God, do what I say. Who's going to stop me? Go ahead and remodel this. We'll just say it's mine. No one will know the difference." You know why? Because I'm one of 5 people left.
Exactly.
Over and over and over. You never know. Great restart. It could be a flood. Could it be? Well, and also with your sandstorm.
The meteorites, the
meteorites.
Ice Age could be anything.
Well, any of those could be a restart. It could just, with the pause or erase a society completely. More than likely erase. Because even the shifting of the sand could just cover anything up. I remember reading that somewhere when I was a kid, that there's not only is the ocean, for example, undiscovered, but Egypt, the desert, because it's like a big sandbox. You can dig so much, but it's just going to move the sand everywhere. Who knows how much it's blown over something. So they're saying there could be a ton of different temples tying a ton of different societies together where there's pieces that are missing that we may never ever find, because
exactly
because it just got covered. So there could be tons of different, different spots of, so maybe they're not blind spots to us now because we can maybe piece together them, maybe not wholly, but we can piece together parts of history together. But imagine little blocks that have just been erased. The Great Restart that maybe never got uncovered. Like you find stuff like that caveman a long, long time ago got discovered in the ice. And they found out that... I
can't remember his name. What is that?
I don't remember, but he was, they were like, what is he doing up here? But they found, like, diet information. Like, they totally changed the idea.
Well, he was covered in tattoos. I remember that part.
Yeah, like, it totally changed the idea of what they thought society was back in that time. And so even things like that just shake us to the core and just prove that we don't exactly know everything. And maybe we never will. And that's fine, but the interesting part is being able to talk about it.
It's Otzi.
Otzi?
Otzi, yeah. The Iceman.
The Iceman.
The mummy that they found in the ice.
But
the
it's
ice
just
preserved his skin perfectly.
It what now?
Preserved his skin perfectly. Like Walt Disney had the cryogenically frozen thing. That kind of happened to him, but on accident.
Wow.
And he never came back to life, obviously. But yeah.
He came back to life?
No.
You're telling me he got up like Captain America and said, this is different.
I just wasted 30 years.
More like 10,000.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not from here. I'm like, oh, okay.
What are you getting at?
Hey, we'll just go back to sleep. Go back to sleep.
Close your eyes now. Wait for the next restart. You'll be good in no time.
Get out of here.
Borat, go home. You're drunk.
Out.
I am not drunk yet. I just wanted to... Okay, that's enough now.
But
yeah, get out of here.
And another thing is, what if you could take the spin on it too? So not only do we not have all the bits of information to, obviously us, we just thought this through, put it on here, and now we're talking to you. But it's kind of the same scenario when I was listening to, I think he was from Ancient Aliens or whatever, and he was talking about
the guy with the crazy hair.
No, it was another dude, but he was on a show, and I was watching him talk, and he was saying that we started with fire, and now we're here with planes, cars, trains, that kind of thing, coal powered, power plants, but and then he said, but other civilizations like maybe an alien race, maybe they didn't start with that, maybe they started with this was his spin on it. And I'm not talking about aliens to conclude this point. I'm just saying, imagine the same theory. Maybe they didn't start there. Maybe these ancient civilizations didn't start where we started. Maybe they didn't start with fire. Maybe they started with something, better, more detailed. It's just a super interesting theory because if they started with tools that could cut blocks, like Puma Punku, right? So if they could cut blocks like that, and they had the technology already there, they had a whole different set of life. They had plumbing. They had everything we thought they didn't have. We thought they were savages 13,000 years ago. But it turns out they had plumbing. They had worship. They had a temple. They had a bunch of stuff that we have now, yet more advanced. What if they didn't start where we started?
They had drills, obviously, and engineering tools. I don't know how they would have done that with just, rocks.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the blocks they weigh a ton. They weigh up to 800 tons. How do you pick them up? How do you move them? So
it's like with the Stonehenge. They found stuff that looks like bowling pins and a bowling ball in the Stonehenge underneath it. So even these ancient civilizations, they even had bowling. All right.
Yeah, it's just.
What if we just refound that?
Like, what if that's just the process of life over and over and over and over? You just keep finding it.
Bowling, plumbing, light bulbs, flood.
Yeah. Or maybe it's a society you get to a point. And if you're religious, if you're not religious, and maybe in society you get to a point, and then God's like, okay, this is maybe not here. Flood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not God. I would make that decision. I'm just saying that that if I had that power, I'd be like, okay, you guys are getting a little out of hand with. Maybe I gave you too much. Flood.
Maybe,
and then maybe you get to us now, because that's a good argument too. Well, how come we haven't been wiped out? We've had this for blah 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 thousands of years.
Because we're on the precipice. Maybe we're just on the cusp.
Exactly. That's which is a scary thought.
Yeah.
Because then you could discovery over into. I mean, how much more selfish can you get? I guess. greedy, self-centered people with technology at our fingertips.
Restart with a few people before we destroy ourselves.
Well, like I said, if that's even a thing I could say as a theory, imagine at what point does God go, flood? How deep in this sin pit do we have to go?
Exactly.
But yeah, I have no answers. This is a show with reasonable doubt. That's all.
Exactly.
Reasonable doubt.
And if you're any way a scientist, please feel free to call and correct us or an anthropologist or an archaeologist or even a primatologist like what's his name, Franz de Waal. Even if you're a primatologist like that, if anything we have said isn't accurate based off of just us Googling stuff, we don't have degrees.
Yeah.
Then please feel free to correct us and we'll make the adjustments needed in the show.
Right. We just have a very active imagination and Google.
That's what we got.
That's what we got.
We got a can-do attitude in computers.
But
you want to talk about? The Kim Jong-Un thing?
Oh yeah, I guess we can. Let's go. We can go about 20 minutes for that.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Let me look it up. Go
We
ahead.
are in a light intermission right now.
No, we're doing this. Kim Jong-Un.
What about Kim Jong-Un? What about him?
Hey, dude.
Yeah, the poison for Cusco.
Yeah, he's alive. It says Kim Jong-Un resurfaces, state media says, after weeks of health rumors.
What?
Says he said the North Korean leader was said to have visited a factory on Friday after a series of unsubstantial news reports that he was gravely ill.
Here, let's go back now.
That's the epitome of fake news. Are you kidding me?
Restart that. Do that again. And now, not really good segue here, but we're going to talk about the rumors circulating Kim Jong-Un. And it came from a credible source first, TMZ.
Yeah, no, he's alive.
He's alive.
Yeah,
You're telling me that this whole time they've been saying, "Oh, well, Kimmy Boy's dead," and now he was just playing possum with us.
Health rumors. It was a health rumor. It says Kim Jong-Un resurfaces. State media says after weeks of health rumors.
Well, where did he resurface? Did he come out and made a public broadcasting about it?
Yeah, he's cutting a ribbon at a factory opening. Healthy as ever.
So then where did he go for all that time? He could have just easily said, "Oh yeah, I'm right here."
I mean, yeah, but
everybody was all hush hush about it.
Could have, but yeah, he's that was Friday apparently.
So what was the original rumor about it?
That he was fat and gluttonous, and he ate too much food, which gave him heart disease, and they had to do heart surgery, and then he died on the operating table with the heart surgery.
See, I heard he went like vegetable.
Well, yeah, because that's exactly what happened. He went vegetable. Like you die, but like how do I put it?
Like
your
comatose?
Heart, like your heart works. You got the heart fixed.
Yeah.
But you got no oxygen in your brain. Your brain dead. That's what I heard last. But wait, no indication Kim Jong-un had surgery during his absence.
So then where did he go? I mean, for real, this has been going on for how many weeks now? Kim Jong-un's been...
Yeah, this was 9 hours ago, dude. South
Possum.
Korea. Kim Jong-un did not have surgery. Granted, take it with a grain of salt. It's South Korea. They probably lie.
No, South Korea's a good one. He's North Korea.
Oh, that's right. Wrong Korea.
We are sorry Koreans. We ignorant.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, South Korea is the better
we
Korea.
We don't know very much.
I'm sorry. They have what's the difference? You can see a satellite image. You can see like a bunch of power, like lights from South Korea, and then nothing in North Korea.
Yeah, pretty
much. But yeah, it said video released by North Korea showing a smiling Kim Jong-un moving around during the completion of a fertilizer factory, which is where he was opening. So he's alive. He's alive.
They have it on video. They have pictures of it, but that's North Korea. Who knows, man?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, if South Korea was able to respond, I mean, that's something else. But either way, not a bummer, but like when you think something and it doesn't end up being true.
Well, then how did they get the information that he was dead? I mean, come on. What I want to know is why he didn't just come out and say, "Yeah, I'm totally alive. Look at this. I'm healthy as a horse. I'm healthy as a horse. I still writhe."
Well, they're not really.
So then where'd he go? If he wasn't dead or having surgery, where the hell did he go? I mean, he had to have had a reason to play Possum. They were talking about naming his successor and everything, bro.
Yeah, they said Trump glad about reappearance of North Korean leader. Obviously, imagine having someone worse. Because at least Kim Jong-Un you can, control. And he's 36. He's going to be there for a while. He'll be there for a hot minute. I remember learning in school.
How old is he?
36.
That's it?
That's it.
He's that much older than us, but not really that old. Wow, that is nuts.
He was born in 1984, age 36 years old. But yeah, either way, he would be definitely easier to manage than someone else who had just gotten into not even office, into dictatorship.
Yeah.
So
communism's all bad.
That is going to be spun really bad, but I'm also glad that he showed up because that's a whole different ball game.
All right. It says here on the 15th of April, he missed the birth anniversary celebrations of his grandpa, which he has never missed one before. It is one of the biggest events in the North Korean calendar. Mr. Kim usually marks it by visiting the mausoleum where his grandfather lies. Mr. Kim had never missed this event before.
That's so weird. Now this one says he's 38, the New York Post. What?
It's North Korea. They're shady up there. No offense, North Koreans.
I just told you he was 36. Now they say he's 38. What? How old is he? Do they not know?
Maybe he's cloned. I don't know.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. Well, this happened in 2014, actually. He disappeared for a month, stirring speculation of a coup. Like a swap out. Him for someone else. So he disappeared. When he had that cane and that ankle issue.
Okay, this is weird.
What?
Kim Jong-Un has disappeared before.
I just said that. You remember listening?
Yeah, for 40 days in September 2014.
Yeah, I just read that.
My bad. I was trying to read this.
I'm going to say, in speculation of a coup, they were trying to swap him with someone else. So if there's another coup, he goes, yeah, right.
It's coup. The P is silent. It's a coup. It's a pirate term.
C-O-U-P?
Yeah, it's pronounced coup.
A coup?
A coup.
I thought,
it's overthrowing somebody. It'd be like if the pirates overthrow the captain.
Take the S's out. Take the P out.
It's a coup.
The coup. Anyway, so who knows? Maybe they had tried to overthrow again. Wasn't his sister involved?
Yeah, they're going to name her his successor.
Yeah, she probably was doing some shady.
Well, I don't know. It's already speculated he killed his half-brother.
Who is?
Kim Jong-Un.
Him killing his half-brother?
That's what they're speculating.
Good Lord Almighty.
Yeah, they walked up. Some people walked up to him with some on a glove. I'm going to assume ricin because it is one of the oldest known poisons. And it can dissolve in
this is
the
from
skin.
the interview.
This is a real thing. Ricin's a real thing. It's the oldest poison out there.
And Breaking
it
Bad.
involves directly into the skin. Yeah. There's a reason it's in sci-fi and stuff like that.
Ricin? And it comes from a bean? Are you kidding me?
I don't know where it comes from.
Well, you know what? Remember that thing we were talking about? The internet? Yeah, I'm using it.
There you go.
Ricin.
But anyway, you see
on
the video there's
two castor beans. What?
There's a video of two girls walking up to him and they just pat him on the back and walk away. And he just drops dead. Eating dirt, pushing up daisies. He's just gonzo.
Dude, ricin can be in the form of a powder, a mist, or a pellet. Yeah. Dissolved in water or weak acid. Yeah. What?
Two chicks walk up to him with a glove, pat him on the shoulder, and he just drops.
Doesn't it have to touch your skin? Don't you have to ingest it?
Maybe it was the back of the neck. I don't know.
Maybe that wasn't a hand. Maybe that was a big-ass knife.
It was a glove.
Yeah, maybe have little... Maybe
what? You're going to get stabbed from a couple of pokes in the shoulder?
Assassin's Creed.
I ain't no rocket appliance or nothing, but a couple of pokes from the shoulder wouldn't kill you.
Well, if this is all conjecture based on scientific ricin, okay? Now, and in the movies, you need to make contact and touch.
Yeah.
Right? But if he's wearing a suit and you touch him on the back...
We'll pull up the video. There's a video on it. Kim Jong-Un's brother getting ganked.
Just type that in.
Is ganked a scientific term? I'm not sure.
Yes. I think you mean ganked.
Yeah, definitely ganked.
I just said the exact same thing you said. But what's a castor bean? What the?
Castor beans. It's good for skin and hair growth and rejuvenation.
Okay, so it's for rejuvenation, but it can kill you.
It can also induce labor and give you diarrhea.
Which one do you get when you eat it? Do you get poison? Do you get diarrhea?
Do you
pop out a baby?
I think it's like how much you ingest or how much, like what percentage you're extracting from it. Ricin is extracted from that.
Oh, so I can't just grab a bean, eat it, and then just die.
If you're allergic, you would, yeah.
Oh. How do you know if you're allergic? You die?
You die.
Is there no, like, if you eat it and you go like...
I ain't no rocket appliance.
My throat's closing. Like a peanut?
I guess. I don't know. I have no clue.
You're the ricin, dude.
I read comic books, okay? Yeah, I know what ricin is, okay?
Ricin poisoning. Ricin. This is from the Mayo Clinic.
The Mayo Clinic.
Let's see what they say about the poisoning.
What do the mayonnaise say about it?
Let's see. After you are away from the suspected source of ricin, remove any clothing that may have ricin on it. It can be on clothing?
Well, yeah. They put on a glove so it don't get into their skin, but once it gets in your skin, you're boned.
Wow, Mayo Clinic, you're so helpful.
Yeah, they really biffed that one.
Yeah, that's all it said. Use soap and water to rinse skin.
If it doesn't dissolve in your skin, you're probably okay.
Awesome. Dispose of any exposed clothing.
So
awesome.
Then why does Kim Jong-Un keep playing Possum? That's what I want to know.
It's probably because of the coup. His sister probably had it out for him. She's like, oh, I could do it much... Oh, that's kind of racist. I can do it much better. Kind of.
All right. What are you trying to do?
A different accent for, like, over there.
I don't know how Koreans sound.
Don't look.
I talked to a North Korean, but their leader won't let us. I don't know. For all we know, they could sound like that.
Very nice.
Very nice. Borat, go home.
Go back to Korea.
I'm gonna get a baseball bat. I'm gonna give this fool a rainbow connection.
But
just come at him with a decisive.
So, well, in other news, he's alive.
Kim Jong-Un was playing possum. I'm sorry, North Korea. But on the bright side, I was reading about his sister. I heard she wasn't that good.
I heard she was a crazy lunatic. She was a crazy nutso. Worse than he was. So they were happy when he showed up because he could be managed because he's fat and greedy. So her, not so much. Her, she's going to be like, I kill all Americans. And they're like, oh no.
If they can try, buddy boy, they could sure as shit try.
That'd be hilarious, though. What if they did this? What if it was actually the U.S. military that got him? They took him out. Okay, we're going to take you out of here. We got to get you out, and then we're going to kill him.
I don't know, and then they got good relations over there with us right now.
Right now, but before that, they were launching missiles. So imagine you're sick of this dude. You go, okay, fatty, come on. You get him, and then he's away for a while in your custody. And then you realize his sister is way crazier and way more out of control. So what do you do?
Just bring him back?
You go, hey, we need you to go back, and we'll never mess with you again. And we'll give you as much food as you want and money. Bing. Okay, I'm back in. Never even had heart surgery. Got the heart of a lion. Secret military operations. Secret military. Borat.
What if they're swapping out Kim Jong-Un's? My thoughts exactly, Borat. My thoughts exactly.
Wouldn't he just be the same lunatic, just a cloned? Have you not seen the movie with Paul Rudd in Netflix? My Other Side or whatever it's called?
I have not.
Oh, that's really... You have to watch that, for real. That's really
Paul
good.
Rudd's even from Kansas. Yes, people can leave Kansas.
They can. It's true.
Just ask Paul Rudd.
I've done it a couple times. I've left.
I'm from Georgia.
But yeah, I got nothing else. We just concluded. I thought that Kim Jong-Un would go a lot longer than that.
Apparently he was just playing possum. So thank you, TMZ, for steering us wrong.
Yeah.
TMZ,
when have you ever been correct?
Because we talked about Kim Jong-Un. You can't talk about Kimmy Boy on any kind of signal, all right?
That's true.
Get ganked right there.
That's right. Good luck finding us. Are they going to...
A real badass motherfucker would just give out his address, right? Just like address drop.
Yeah, not me. No. But either way, that's all I got.
Yep.
That's all we got.
That's all she wrote.
We love you guys. thank you for being here. We'll keep bringing you information every week. Hopefully a couple times a week if I can amp up that hosting service. But
definitely.
But yeah, thank you Lit State for the sponsorship.
We appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, we really do. Hard work pays off, and let's do it together. I'm glad we can. So check them out at Lit State Co. on Instagram. And we'll see you guys next time.
Well, I want to throw a quick challenge out there.
Yeah.
All right. This is a challenge for whoever can prove that they get us the most views and downloads on our podcast. If you can prove that you've shown enough people of this stuff, you will be the first person to get our merchandise. Even before us.
Oh, yeah, before us. You'll be... We might even ask you for your... You know what? Yeah, we will. We'll ask you for your honest feedback and opinion.
Mm-hmm. If you can get us over, 50, you want to say?
Don't even give a number. Just say the most.
Whoever gives us the most.
We're not looking for the number.
Okay. You have to be able to prove it. I don't want somebody just taking credit for something. You know?
Well, like I just said, it's about hard work and putting in that kind of dedication and material. If you do that, if you put that in, I don't care what the number is. I care about the commitment, the work ethic you put in.
I care about the underdog story.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why everybody.
You give us a story, we'll give you a hat.
That's
or
right.
a shirt.
So challenge accepted, ladies and gentlemen. And
all right. And like the Shamrock Shake, I'm gone.
Is that Borat? Or is he?
I don't know. And like the Shamrock Shake, I'm gone.
You already said that. I thought you did Borat.
Oh, you want me to...
Yeah.
What I do?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it was very nice. How the fuck do you keep cutting me? I want to know how you keep...
Don't be cursing at me, Mr. Man over there looking like a lumberjack. Oh, hunting dolphins like so. Borat. Kronk, get this man out of here.
All right, you come with me, pal. I'm gonna take you for a... All right, you pork. Okay,
all right,
get
that's
out of
it.
here.
How'd you even get in this apartment? Everybody out.
You got too many people. Now Kim Jong-Un.
Bring it on. All right, I'm out. Peace.
We're located in